So tell us about your time in Ann Arbor.
Those were a very, very happy 8 years. I came here to teach piano and chamber music on the piano faculty, and then a few years after my tenure here, I became the chairman of the piano department. Yes, I have very fond memories of those years. Wonderful students, great colleagues. It was good.
When you played the Brahms Piano Concerto No. 1 the first time with the Ann Arbor Symphony Orchestra, tell us a little bit about that.
Gosh. That was a lovely experience. I think that was my first performance with Maestro Lipski. Prior to that, I'd already played Beethoven and Schumann concertos with the orchestra. So that was a first of several happy collaborations. I think we're now 4 concertos later with the other Brahms. It's very nice.
Tell us something about the Brahms Piano Concerto No. 2. What's special about it?
Well, both of these Brahms concertos are really like symphonies with piano obbligato parts. And the second one is maybe even more symphonic than the first, in the sense that it's got 4 movements, really like a true symphony. And Brahms sort of jokingly referred to this small concerto that he had just written with a tiny wisp of a scherzo. And of course the piece is a monster, and one of the most difficult in the repertoire for the pianist to play. But at the same time, it's not a virtuoso piece. It's like a huge piece of chamber music with the piano and the orchestra creating a unified blend of wonderful sounds. And of course it's late Brahms. It's Brahms at its very best, with incredible melodies, wonderful rhythmic things, and great symphonic writing, everything that you'd expect. It's one of the very, very great pieces in the repertoire for us.
What's the hardest part for you to play in the Brahms No. 2?
Actually, it's pretty consistently throughout the whole work, and it takes about 50 minutes, and pacing oneself is very important. I think that's the most important thing to remember, that you don't expend all your energy in the first movement when there's still 3 more to go.
Well, you've got quite a lot of awards. Tell us a little bit about the Nomberg Award.
That was in 1987 in New York at Carnegie Hall, and that was one of the highlights of my life. What can I say? It's a fairly rigorous competition, but a lot of it is done in a more private way than a lot of other international competitions these days. Only the finals are public. So you play in various venues for the first 3 rounds. There's also a screening round, and the finals were at the large hall at Carnegie Hall. Everybody played a recital program and a concerto. And well, I feel very lucky that I won. Of course, I didn't hear any of my competitors, but the foundation has been incredibly good to me over the years, and I'm still in very close touch with them. And in fact, I've been on the jury of several piano competitions since I've won, but they certainly were the people that gave me my first great opportunities to perform, and without them, I definitely would not be where I am today.
Well, after your performance here with the Ann Arbor Symphony, where do you head next?
Believe it or not, I've got about 2 weeks off. This has been an incredible sort of 4-week stretch. I've already played the Grieg Concerto twice and the Stravinsky Piano Wind Concerto, 2 chamber music programs several times, and last week I was in Vancouver in British Columbia, where I played a recital program 5 times. So it's been busy. So I'll have a couple of weeks off, and then I go back to San Francisco. I do a lot of work with the symphony there, so this is another weekend with them.
And you're in Texas now? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, actually the University of Texas at Austin was my first job many, many years ago. And I've been back there now. I guess this is my 9th year back since I left Ann Arbor. And it's really like home for me. It reminds me a lot of South Africa, where I grew up, and I've got a wonderful position there, excellent students, great living conditions. It's excellent.
Do you have a favorite memory you'd like to recall from Ann Arbor days?
One of the most exciting things of my life happened here when the Cleveland Orchestra came through, and Emanuel Ax was the soloist in the Brahms Piano Concerto, and I got a rather alarmed call from the Musical Society that morning saying that Mr. Ax was snowed in. Could I please play the Brahms Concerto that evening with the Cleveland Orchestra? And I said yes, and so I quickly reworked it and played for the conductor and so on. And to make a long story short, Mr. Ax did get in at the very, very last minute. So I didn't get to play that particular concert, but it was a very big break for me, because the Cleveland Orchestra subsequently engaged me, so it was a very happy moment.